After a riveting win up in Sacramento for game number 5, the Warriors lead this best-of-7 series 3 games to 2, and they have an opportunity to close out the Sacramento Kings and advance to the second round of the Western Conference playoffs. We're going to discuss how the Warriors can do that here live at the Gatehouse in Thrive City for game number 6. It's the Hall of Famer Chris Woolen, NBA champ Festus Ezeli. I am Bonte Hill here for Warriors Pregame Live, presented by Comcast Business. And inside this building, Willie, they've been red hot. They're nearly unbeatable in the playoffs here at Chase Center.
The Warriors are now 13-1 in playoff games here at Chase, and they feed off this incredible fan base, the energy, and I expect that winning ways to continue tonight, Bonte and Festus.
Since the start of last season, the Warriors are 77-19 inside the Chase Center, and they show that championship swag here at home so far in this series. But Fezzi fell. All eyes are on Game 6, Klay Thompson.
Jackson, Tyson, Jordan.
Game 6.
That's right. Klay Thompson gave you a little preview last game. Thanks to the refs and the fouls. Foul trouble got him out of the game. But I bet the Sacramento Kings know what is coming today at Chase Center.
Especially that corner shot late in the fourth quarter there, off balance where he nailed it there. And Loon Dog, they're calling him Windex because all he does is clean up the glass. Shout out to Schleprock there as he cements his Warriors legacy in the series. On the parquet floor, of course, that happened in game number 6. They beat Memphis in the second round in game number 6 here at Chase Center. So the Warriors know what time it is as we welcome everybody back to Warriors Pregame Live, presented by Comcast Business. Mully, Fezzi, and Bonte, and you see those numbers there under Steve Kerr in closeout situations. But in game 6s, the Warriors know we don't want to get to a game number 7 because anything could happen.
I mean, it says a lot about this team. It says a lot about the competitive nature of those guys. You can see with Draymond coming off the bench, the sacrifices these guys understand that they have to make to go win games. And so we've talked all season long about the Warriors' road woes. And they go down there in game 5 in the gutsy win. They understand that this is a whole new season in the playoffs. This Warriors team, they're winners, they're champions, and they have the mentality, and they're coming into this game with that same mentality. Now, the youth of the Sacramento Kings right now, they don't know any better, and that actually might work in their favor. So far, De'Aaron Fox has come into the series and has really taken over. How he goes is the way this team will go. Sabonis has struggled. Shout out to Trayvon Green and Kevon Looney. This Game 6 is a big one for this Golden State Warriors team. They have the momentum right now. They need to ride that.
This has been a very close contested series. Both teams have very similar styles. We talked about, the coaching staffs having worked together, ownership groups having worked together. So there's a lot of similarities. The Warriors have been able to thrive under pressure much better than this young Sacramento team because of their experience. Festus talked about making the sacrifices. With that sacrifice came a great adjustment, playing the one big, playing Kevon and Draymond separately for a good portion of the game, but then playing them together when you want that defensive mentality and intensity. So that's worked out great for the Warriors. The Kings have yet to really put a wrinkle into the series. We'll see what happens tonight. But they really need Herter, Sabonis, Keegan Murray, and
Harrison Barnes shooting.
All those plays need to step up because what's happened is that they're not playing Domantas Sabonis on the perimeter at all. They're leaving him wide open. He's reluctant to shoot open shots. And then when he takes it down the paint, Draymond and Kevon Looney are able to contain him one-on-one. So the Warrior perimeter players are able to stay home on the shooters. In turn, all those role players' numbers are down from the regular season. So the Warriors have made all the correct adjustments, which you would expect because of their championship DNA. But now the pressure's on Sacramento to try and somehow have 4 or 5 guys have big games on the road in this hostile environment to try and force a Game 7.
We'll get to the three-point shooters for the Kings a little bit later in the program. They're shooting 30% from the three-point line so far in the series. They shot 37% in the regular season. But let's kick it to Klay Thompson, who spoke on the biggest win of the season, Game 5, of course, Wednesday night.
I think when we know what the stakes are, we play. I mean, we're competitors and we play to that level. And we know how difficult it is to win in this building, and it just took a different level of focus than it would have in the past. And I just think this was probably the best win of the year. But when the clock strikes midnight, it's a new day, and we got to put it behind us because we really don't want to come back. We want to give our fans a show at home and hopefully finish the series there.
All right, it's time for tonight's opening delivery presented by Domino's. Track your pizza using the Domino's tracker at Domino's.com. Let's welcome in the great KB, Kareth Burke, live from the floor inside the Chase Center with more of it on a legendary series from Kevon Looney. Doves will not have had this lead, this 3-2 lead without him, KB.
Well, thank you guys. And again, it bears repeating. Kevon Looney had 22 rebounds in the last game. This is the second game of the series where he's had 20 or more. Remember, he had 20 and game 3 as well. It's almost like the team is running out of confidence for Kevon Looney. But can you sort of explain his importance to these wins for Golden State?
Well, let's begin with the fact that he is out-rebounding Domantas Sabonis, who led the NBA in rebounds.
Yes.
He has had more assists than Domas, and Domas was second in the league among centers in assists behind Nikola Jokic. So Looney is in many ways outplaying a guy who's an all-star. So that has been huge. And I think when you look at Kevon and what he does for this team, what he means to this team, and the way he dedicates himself to this team, I really do think there should be an award named after him. You know, the Giants have an award, Willie Mack Award. The 49ers have the Lynn Eshleman Award. These are all awards for not the best player or anything, just for a player who exemplifies all the things you want in a teammate.
Yeah.
I don't know who could be better for that than Kevon Looney.
Yeah.
I mean, he deserves something because the guys love him, the coaching staff loves him. Everybody who deals with Loon loves what he does and loves him as a person.
Yes.
So, I mean, I really do think that it's a prime opportunity for the Warriors to say, you know what, Loon, for all you do, here's something for you.
Well, the trophy looks like a lunch pail, right? And listen, when it comes to 22 rebounds, it's not like there were a lot of misses in that game. Both teams shot pretty well. The Warriors shot 52%. The Kings shot 47%. So the rebounds that he was getting, they're not coming off a whole bunch of misses. He had to fight for those. And you see that fight in Looney, and he seems happy to do it for his team.
Yeah, he said after the game, he said every rebound should be his. That's his train of thought. Every rebound should be mine. I want to get every single rebound. Now, we know that's impossible, but that's the goal he's setting for himself, and that's why he ends up with 22 rebounds in a game, because he's chasing rebounds as he should, because, again, the Warriors had 43 rebounds in Game 5. He had 22. He had more than half of their rebounds.
There you go.
So when your guy does that for you, you can't give him any much more than up on the back and say, dude, we love what you're doing.
Yeah. And as we're talking here, Steph Curry is behind us warming up. He's coming off a game where he played 42 minutes. He's played more than 40 minutes in 3 out of 5 games in this series. So Steve Kerr said maybe it's not ideal that he's touching those minutes, but that's what the team needs right now for Steph.
Yeah, Steve Kerr said before Game 5 that he wants to get Steph 5 minutes of rest in each half. The first half of Game 5, Steph got 5 minutes. In the second half, he got 43 seconds. That's all the rest he got. He played the entire fourth quarter, and he played the last 2 minutes of the third quarter. So I think it gives you an indication of just what it means to have Steph on the floor, and also what point of the series it is. You know, the Warriors did not want to deal with a Game 7. They wanted to win in Sacramento. They don't want to go back. And if they win that game, they can win the series here, and that's their goal.
Not another bus ride, Monty. Get it done tonight. And the Warriors have a lot of players doing their part to make sure they can get the W tonight. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, KB and Monty, for that one. More on Steve Kerr and Steph Curry's minutes in a second here. Steve Kerr on Steph Curry's minutes, but Kevon Looney, look at the last 3 games here. 5 points, 18.5 rebounds, 7 assists, 53% from the floor. And he has 3 career playoff games with at least 20 rebounds. He had 22 rebounds in the clincher last season against Memphis in game number 6 here at Chase Center. And, of course, 22 in game number 5. He was gobbling up rebounds. So Looney, you see the company he's joining here. He's really been determined to clean up the glass for the Golden State Warriors. He's playing some excellent basketball.
One of the reasons why this Warriors team has been able to set the tone is because of Kevon Looney. Matter of fact, let me not call him Kevon Looney. Let me call him Olunjuwon Bill Russell Looney. Okay, so what he's been able to do on the rebounding front, 20 rebounds is not easy. 20 rebounds in the playoffs against another guy who's bigger than him and is also supposedly a triple-double machine. Kevon Looney has outplayed Sabonis. And the combination of Kevon Looney and Draymond Green has been a lot for them to handle. They have 2 bigs, 1 guy coming off the bench right now. And it's because of Kevon Looney's play that Draymond Green has been able to come off the bench. And he sets the tone, like I said, with the rebounding. It's so much easier for a shooter to be able to get those shots after he gets a rebound. And then on the other end, on the defensive end, he doesn't miss assignments. He's always there, right there for verticality, all those things. And then when he sets the screen for Steph Curry, he's a pressure release, kicking the guys like this, activating guys like Gary Payton, Dante DiVincenzo. He's been an all-purpose tool for Steve Kerr so far in the lineup.
Yeah, Kevon Looney, we've seen this his entire career. Whether he starts or come off the bench, he has the same impact on winning. He does all the intangibles every single night, whether it be screening, rebounding, taking on a defensive challenge in the paint. But we're seeing a different Kevon Looney in this series, where starting without Draymond, he's guarding Domantas Sabonis one-on-one in the post or on the perimeter, obviously eating up the glass like crazy. But to me, the extra possessions. So the Warriors in this series have done a much better job controlling their turnovers, right? So that's extra possessions right there, more field goal attempts. And with Kevon Looney's offensive rebounds, a lot of those are kick-out, wide-open threes. Yep. We've seen him have 9 assists and 7 assists. Right. Draymond Green-type numbers. Yep. So he's rebounding, getting people open with his screening, but those extra possessions on the offensive end have led to, wide open three-point shots. And then defensively, when you play a small lineup, the biggest concern is defensive rebounding. Kevon Looney has cleared that up. He's had a tremendous series. And I think, no matter how they got to this lineup change, It doesn't really matter. For this series, it's really turned the series around in my mind.
Yeah, 22 assists in the last 3 games. Really an underrated stat for Loon Dog here. Real quick, Stephen Curry's playing heavy minutes in the series, but Steve Kerr's doing what he's got to do to win the game, tightening up the rotation. He's probably going to see heavy minutes tonight. What do you think of the way Steve Kerr has utilized Stephen Curry in his minutes this series?
Well, first of all, Steph Curry is the best conditioned athlete in the NBA, so he can take it. His body's stronger. He can handle these minutes. There's been days off in between. And I think tonight, the approach is Game 7 approach. You want to end this series right now. You don't want to play extra games. You're at home. You've got the momentum. End it. Whether it's 38, 42, 44, it doesn't matter. Steph Curry's here to win tonight.
And this is Steph Curry that we're talking about. Steph Curry's also dictating and saying, I want to be on the court. Mm-hmm. So those things you see about the time, Steph doesn't want to miss those minutes. And I see you all the time, Bonte, talking about non-Steph Curry minutes. Right. He also recognizes that too. But the Warriors have done a great job of neutralizing those minutes, actually being ahead. Draymond Green being aggressive in those non-Steph Curry minutes. Klay Thompson was very aggressive last game. Look to a lot of those this game as well.
Well, one of the biggest turning points in that basketball game in Game 5 was a 12-0 run by the Warriors in the second quarter without Steph Curry. He went to the bench. Klay hit 3 straight threes, and Gary Payton II really impacted the game there on De'Aaron Fox. So they've done well in the last couple games here without Stephen Curry on the floor, but the entire NBA world is watching tonight. Will Game 6 Klay live up to his moniker yet again? Stay tuned as we discuss that here on Warriors Pregame Live.
Warriors Pregame Live is